want to be that, and no, but that has problems with this, and he says, mail karwa mochi na mochi, and I want to become mochi again.
Mochi only. That's true.
Because we are so used to this rat race, we cannot even think of anything else. Where is the pleasure? So that's why we have to break the bonds. Any pleasures that does not, make you get attached to it is the pleasure you want to have. That's where the money is not exchanged. That's a true pleasure. You see a flower, there is no money exchange. Flower is there just to give you pleasure. And you enjoy, you appreciate the beauty of the nature, and you move on. At the same time, when the flower is gone, fine. Another flower will come, and another fragrance will come. We have continuous source of fragrance on the route we run, and every spring comes, the beauty is everywhere, right? And then there are certain flowers come, and then there is a honeysuckle in the bloom. Right now we have a beautiful cactus plant. Out of that, this is like totally deserted land, and the weeds come up, and all of a sudden we were walking, and I said, where is this fragrance coming? It's akaro, like it's like a milk weed. Yeah. It's a type of milk weed. It's very poisonous, so deers don't touch it because there's so many deers. And all of a sudden we have this of flowers. They are nondescript, but then fragrance like Ratrani. It's like amazing fragrance. But you have to look for it. It's there. And it's like simple pleasures of life is what that makes the life interesting. And these things stay in your mind, not how much money you made by the end of the day. It does not have the fragrance, so it's not the same.
But
so
I just have a question.
Right.
Same thoughts. A person at your age, or I'm a little bit younger than you, but at our age, you have achieved everything you are supposed to do. You're a practitioner, you're busy, you're doing everything. So what gives you the inspiration to work next day? Or if there's an intellectual void, a degree, there's nothing more to degree.
Right,
there's no more degree to learn.
Right.
There's no more treatments to learn because you're doing it on a regular basis. Unless an unknown patient comes to your life, you're not going to go to the article. You have done it. True.
So you are the article, right?
Exactly. So what carries you to the next level? What
tamas, rajas, tapas. Tapas
what gives
is
you
where
the inspiration to work harder the next day because you have achieved something.
Right.
But what you want to achieve next, you don't know.
Well, we have gone through this. Like when you see the tamas, tamas is where you wanted to receive something, rajas is where you're doing for the money, and now you're beyond all these things. Yeah. And then the next, you upgrade yourself to the tapas level, where you're doing it for the people, where you just do it because you have a pleasure in doing what you're doing, and that's where that's the inspiration. That's the inspiration. At that point, to detach yourself is so good that you're doing because you were not expecting anything.
Other people's satisfaction is your inspiration.
That's it.
But to expect other people's satisfaction,
even that is not. You do it.
Right. They might not be satisfied. You keep on doing it.
That's fine too. That's fine too. Exactly.
But your expectation that they have to be satisfied,
that's
also bad.
Yeah, that's true.
He definitely has a point.
Because I'm doing it for free. Why don't you get satisfied?
But because in the spiritual discussion, the things do become from physical to mental to spiritual, and he's absolutely right. The gains that you may be getting, not necessarily material. You already transcended yourself beyond that, become rajas. You bypass the rajas, and now you enter in tapas position. So now you have to think that a couple of nice words that the patient said to you. You liked it, and now you say the next time then another patient comes, you did the same thing and he didn't say anything. Oh, how come this guy? But the same thing. Exactly. You go back to square A. Then you're back to rajas again. So you cannot win until the trueness comes out,
Right.
So that's how you just have to. Right. So everything is inside. Is your duties, the bhav, vichar and kriya has to be totally integrated. When your bhav becomes, your patients become your extended family, and you just want to be because you love them. And that's when it just flows. Then you are still doing the same thing. You're still doing it now. Now every 18, 19-year-old kid walking, it looks like Chanel to me. It's like that, he says, oh,
That's true.
And you make fun with them, and you know how that life goes. And yes, if it's your own kid, you just treat them as your own kid, and then that's how life goes. And you just treat it. And same thing in any field. You look at your customers. Deepak feels the same way. He says, I treat my customers totally different now that you have a spiritual angle, and the pleasure comes. So the pleasure it's very subtle. At that time, you cannot measure that pleasure, in material ways. So everything
that keeps you going.
Exactly, and that's the true spirituality, right? So So that's why all this knowledge that has been given to us has been going on for generations, and it started from Mahavir Swami, and he stayed in the jungle for 12 years, and then when he started speaking. But that was the original source. After that, everything else has been passed from one person to another to another. It's still going on. Whatever we take is our take, and whatever is not we don't take is lost, and then it goes on. But through our consciousness only is going to keep on flowing. It's not going to flow through a junkie or whoever is dabbling with the material pleasures. They are dead end. They have reached the dead end because for them their direction is totally wrong, right? But at least we have realized that direction is not right. So we turn around. But it's not easy because we have come a long way. Because for all these generations we have been going and doing through the same cycle. Who knows, one of us could have been Alexander in past life that never wanted to do more and more and more, and we still keep going. That's like a steam engine. Even though the engine is shut off, the steam is still pushing it. It's like bicycle. You don't pedal anymore, but that force, the momentum is still going on. But all our journey has been in a wrong direction. That we have to turn around and go back inside. So that's why Rajni says that what if somebody, say you travel 500 miles and you ask somebody, he says, I can't really find what I'm looking for, right? And they say, 500 miles back where you made the right turn was supposed to be left turn. So now you have to take 500 miles back, go back to that intersection, make a left instead of right, and then you'll be fine. But we are not ready to do that. Because we would rather have people walking with us. They say, no, it's fine. We are all doing it. How could it be wrong?
Exactly.
Let's do it.
You follow other people.
Just
You follow other
change the aim. Forget about going over
Right.
there. Let's go here.
So you keep on walking 600 miles and 1,000 miles and we never reach. And then we ask, why didn't we reach? Because the path was already shown to us, but we never wanted to go back. We didn't have courage to go back. So we should have a courage to go back. And little by it takes time, but it can happen. Who knows? So that's the beauty about the Tirthankar Swani. It's like if you are in a jungle and there is a heavy rain, it's total darkness, and all these things, and all of a sudden you see a guiding path, say, come this way. And it's showing us the path, and we should take it. If we don't take it, who else will, right? So we have to realize that there is kind of a dissatisfaction in this world. And once we realize, then our journey starts. That's why Jin Chandra Maharaj says, Jene, bhau brahmanno thak lagyo hoy, ane ananta sukhni ichha jagi hoy, ena mate shanta sudarasya. Otherwise it's not for you. Bhau brahman. So you realize the multiple births. You have to accept the existence of multiple births. What's that?
The Maya you make, you have to realize that.
Right, exactly. So, thak lagyo hai. Very nahi ki I have gone through so many lives and I have not been where I wanted to be. Bhav Brahmanno jane thak lagyo hai ki now I want to have something that is permanent and something that can stay with me forever. Because I have dabbled with this, it gave me short-lasting pleasure, then again that's not the same thing. We have to realize the futility of the material world. That's when our journey to the spirituality will start. Then only Shanta Sudaras is important. Otherwise, it's not for everyone. So, you want to go further, or?
Yeah, Vijay bhai is not.
So, Bhav Shuddhi is very important. Then Jin Chandra Maharaj talks about two more things. Say two karmas are very important. One is they call Gnan Avaraniya karma, and second one is Mohaniya karma. Gnan Avaraniya, Avaran means cover, Gnan means knowledge. So something that covers your knowledge. And because of that karma, your faults in the past, you cannot receive the knowledge. But when the knowledge is, when the Avaran is lifting, your karmas are ending, you start becoming sharper. You start becoming more and more intellectual. Intellect, I'm not talking about intelligence. Intelligence is again going into the material world. Intellect, your buddhi, the ability to differentiate right from wrong, it starts getting alive. And that happens because of the dying of the Gnan Avaraniya karma. So Gnan Avaraniya karma so far for all these lives was covering your buddhi. and now it's being lifting. So you go in that direction. And that's why we all are here. Otherwise we wouldn't be here. The another one is a mohaniya karma. Moh means attachment to the material things. And again, it's all because of our past interactions with all the objects and our false belief that these objects are the source of the pleasure. We keep on going after them. So that was our moh. So the karma, when that is very prominent in our life, we're going to keep doing the mohaniya things. We're going to keep running after the objects. We're going to keep doing this. And we talked about it. The tamas, rajas and tapas. There is a big difference. It's a very subtle difference. But if you are little bit of experience into the spirit, you will see the difference. Because the tamas makes you stupid. Literally. Tamas, because it makes you believe you never have the spiritual aspect of the whole thing. When you are in the middle of enjoying the objects, you cannot think of life outside that object. Right? We stopped drinking, right? So I don't drink for 2-3 years and now I walk into the party, I feel sorry for the people who are still drinking, so you feel that they're so stupid, that stupidity is built in tamas, and it's in the scriptures. Tamas makes you dull. Because you don't need mind. You don't need your brain to make a decision between, drinking blue label or black label or whatever, it's just there. The choices are all there. You just decide. There is no intelligence involved to decide. It does not make you intelligent. The only time when you need intelligence is rajas, where you want to do something in life, and you want to create some money for the family, and you want some rewards, so your efforts are appreciated. So that's when the intelligence starts rising. It's a very, very delicate scenario you have to, but most of the people in America taught us how to do the rajas, right? The rajas is a step above. Because we come from India and you say, hoti hai, chalti hai, kya yaar? Khao piyo aur maja karo, kya problem hai? Lunchtime, you go out and, say, okay, sit for half an hour, 2 hours. You go late and it's okay, not a big deal. So you just enjoy life. And there is no really intelligence involved in that. Anyone can do it. Animals do that. So tamas makes you dull. And you keep doing it again and again and again. Your brain starts deteriorating. So it makes you dull. But the rajas, where now you need your brains to really come out of all these things. So America brought us to the rajas level, which is good. So now you have to work for your money. And you have to use your brain. How to do is something you can impress people. You can make the things which are useful. You be a good doctor, you create a new toy or create a new video game or whatever. So now that intelligence is needed. You see the step up. But still, your mind is focused to the objects. That you want to gather the money. And then what do you want to win the money? Tamas again.
So it's without bhav. Without the platform of bhav.
Exactly. Then you buy a bigger boat. And you have then you have more black labels and now you upgrade yourself to blue label. And all these things. And then again, ultimately still tamas. Right? So that's where the whole society is stuck. So the tapas is the real intelligence where you give up your desire for any fruits of action. You want to do because you want to do. And that transcends you above the objects, the materialism and all these things. So the mohaniya karma is actually the reason why the jnana avaraniya karma is not being lifted. So they are all interwoven, right? As long as you have moh for an object, your intellect is not going to rise. So same thing when we look at a junkie, we feel sorry for him. He says, you feel sorry that you got into this trouble and you destroy your whole life and this and that. For us, he's stupid. But for him, he's not. For his mind has been telling him that this is the best thing to do. And that's what the minds do. Minds always makes you more stupid because mind and the intellect are two separate things. Mind does not want to be smart. No matter how much you think you're smart, you still can be stupid. And we are full of, medias are full of examples of the stupidities, right? Created by all this. Actually, there was an article, it says, all these proliferations of the materials that is around, is it making us stupid or what? That you go to the governor levels and president level and you still end up doing stupid things? And they are intellectual people. But they still do stupid things anyway. So that shows that our fascination with the objects of the material objects of the pleasure is making us stupid. Our intellect is going. Shuddhi is there, buddhi is going. So that's why we should not run after these objects.
But the buddhi is there, shuddhi is going.
Yeah, that's
Buddhi-
what yeah,
Okay.
that's what I meant. Yeah.
I'm paying
So
attention.
yeah, I know. I meant the intelligence that way. Yeah,
Yeah.
At least your eyes are not
Yeah, I'm
moving
not
this
sleeping
time.
today.
Good. Very good, Deepak. That's why I said that.
To test you.
Enjoy the recognition.
So these people actually can achieve a lot. I mean, look at Clinton and Spitzer and
Oh, yeah.
all these people are very, very smart people. They can do a lot for the country if they want to. And they are the products after all these, they could use their intelligence. They are Harvard graduates and they're top-notch lawyers and they could do a lot for the country, but for stupid things. For stupid little things, they're destroying their own careers and things like that. So that shows that the tamas makes you dull. Tamas makes you stupid. That's another reason we should come out of the clutches of the materialism. Materialism does not take you anywhere. It's a dead end. But where do you go beyond materialism? There is no place else to go, right? Once you have a black label or blue label, and you enjoyed it, and then what's going to happen after that? Nothing. Just more blue label. There is no other label coming out.
12 years old to 18 years old
Yeah,
to 24 years old
so,
Matt.
so when I go to the party, they say, well, how about rasgulla or gulab jamun? I say, well, listen, this is not the first time I have eaten this. This is not the last time either. I still remember the last time what I'm sure this gulab jamun is not going to be any different than the gulab jamun that I had 10 years ago. So what's the big deal? What are you offering me new? But there is something new. The spirituality offers you something new. And that is above and beyond everything else. And that's where we should go. So two karmas are very important. Gnan, avaraniya karma. So when that karma is predominant, you become ignorant. And then you go down. And that's nark. There is no nark or swarg or anything. It is your suffering that you did. All the steps that you take and you suffer in life, that's your nark. That's it. So when you come out of all this, you will go into swarg. There is no swarg or nark created anywhere for you. It's all in you. These are just the different levels of the mind, how they have created inside. So when the Gnan Avaraniya karma is important or predominant, you are ignorant. And when the second one is important, the moha becomes very predominant in your life. But raising of one is not enough. Raising your intelligence is not enough. That's what he says. Because if the mohniya karma is still predominant, you're still going to suffer. And that's what we're saying. These people are very intelligent people. For them to go from that level to a very high intellectual level, intellect level would be very easy. Because these people turn around, they can do anything. But mohniya karma takes you down. So both the things have to be eliminated. And so that's why the elimination of one gives you buddhi. The Gnan Avaraniya karma, when it goes down, gives you buddhi. And the mohaniya karma, when it goes, gives you shuddhi. Shuddhi is the purity in your life. Without being, destroyed by the material pleasures of the world, that's where the shuddhi your character and everything will become intact. Honesty, integrity, all these things will come. Because now you don't have any reason to lie. Because you're not running after objects anymore. If you lie to gain something, but if you don't want to gain anything, if you're at the tapas level, why do you want to lie? There is no reason. The reason for lying is gone. Reason for cheating is gone. Reason for dishonesty is gone. Because ultimately is what? Ultimately is going to gain what? Material pleasures that you don't want it anyway. So Jinchandra Maharaj puts it in a beautiful way. So he says that the sansar is dukhaniya, dukhfalak and dukhanubandh. Three things are very important to realize. The material pleasures that we get. One is dukh anubandh. Once you are attached with that, yoga kshema. If somebody is smart enough to understand that pleasure always is followed by the pain. Hagendas is always followed by cholesterol or heart attack. Whatever, we know that. So it's a dukhanubandh. So you are tied with the pain and suffering. Dukhanufalak. Because once you gain something, then whatever you gain out of that, say you have money, and whatever money buys is also going to give you dukh. So you think that you're going to have a $10 million villa or whatever thing or big yacht and whatever, but the pleasure is not necessarily going to come or going to be 10 times if you have only $1 million right now. It's going to be much less and you have more problems coming. So dukhanubandh, dukhanufalak and dukhfalak, dukhanubandh and dukhdayak. So okay, so dukhdayak, dukhanufalak and dukhanubandh. So these are the three things. So dukhanu, the dukhdayak is it gives you the pain and suffering right now. Dukhanu bandh means it gets tied you. So and then you get more pleasures, more suffering later on. And dukh falak means you create a karma. While you're doing all these things, you hurt so many people, because every time you go beyond what you need, you stepping on somebody else, right? There is a fixed pie. There is one pizza pie. If you make your slice bigger, somebody is getting a shorter cut. Whether you like it or not, whether you want it or not, whether you realize it or not, after all the money that is trillions of dollars that is spent, if you make $10 more, somebody is getting $10 short. So you're creating karmas. You're making suffering in this world. There is no question about it. So you're going to pay the price for it next life anyway. So they say while you are with the material world, you have suffering. You're going to, whatever you're making out of it is also going to give you suffering. And you're creating more karmas to suffer more in the future. So that's why they say material pleasures is not worth it. But this is all knowledge. This is all just talk. So that knowledge has to become Gnan. Gnan is something your own. That's why, like SSY course, when we start, the first thing we talk about the rules. Right? Yeah. It's so beautiful. Like the last time I got was the rules. These are the rules. You put it on the table. Do you understand the rules? Yes. So now these rules are your rules. Yeah. Simple. So now
knowledge became Gyan.
Knowledge becomes Gnan. So until you say, okay, somebody else's rules, you don't follow. Okay, that's just a rule. I have to follow because I should follow this and that. No, it's not like that. If you're driving at 85 miles an hour, but you know that 65 is the limit, right? So you're doing it, but you're shaking. You say you're not sure, but police may catch you or this and that and all that. You're always shaking, but you want to do it anyway, this and that. But when that rule becomes your rule, and why does it become your rule? Because you want to drive safe. You don't want to end up in an accident. Not just for your suffering. If I die, what will happen to my family? Worse than that, what if I kill someone? Or whatever. So you drive at 65 miles an hour with the understanding that it's your own rule. And somebody says, why don't you drive faster? Somebody's in your car. No, I'm not going to do it. Because I want to drive at 65. Becomes your rule. There is no friction there. So the same way, all this knowledge that we receive, until it is digested, it does not become your knowledge. And your knowledge becomes Gnan. So Gnan is the knowledge in action. So if that was the case, knowledge was enough, then all this big library of Congress and all those things will become